studied leadership as part of my MBA here in South Africa. This is 1985, 1986. And I looked for the successful factors of what made for extraordinary CEOs. And I came to the conclusion that one of the elements was working with and through people. The global financial crisis made me think you needed to go deeper than that. And I looked at some of the examples that we'd had of leaders, mostly in banks, but in other industries and in other sectors as well, and found this macho, aloof, arrogant, I know I'm right, non-listening style that was prevalent. And that's contributed significantly, I think, to the issues that those banks faced. And so I started to really think about this issue of what's the right style of leadership. And I came to the conclusion, and these are my own words, I talk about generous-spirited leadership. We need leaders who are generous-spirited in their approach to things. And what do I mean by that? It starts with a fundamental belief in the power of each individual to make a difference, the fundamental belief in the dignity of each and every human being, and the drive and desire to create an environment where that individual, each individual can flourish, that each individual can grow. So my job as a leader is to create an environment where people can flourish, and that's because I believe in their inherent dignity, and I will treat them with respect every single time. And this is a powerful thing. Now, we all know other leaders that don't do that, leaders that are selfish, leaders that are quick to judge, leaders that are Machiavellian, leaders that watch other people fail, leaders that are always right, leaders that don't listen. This style of leadership requires you to walk in others' shoes. It requires you to listen. It requires you to be super self-aware, to be able to be on the dance floor dancing, but on the balcony watching myself dance, to be self-aware of my impact on others and how am I helping that individual, that situation, be better, perform, flourish. It requires this being in the moment element. It requires an inclusiveness and building an inclusiveness and respect for that. And people think this is a soft style. I promise you this is the hardest style of all. Because if you're going to do this, you're not going to allow HR people and other people to do the tough stuff. You are going to walk the floor and walk the talk with these individuals. And individuals that are struggling, you'll let them know early. And you'll try and support them early. And you'll ask them to give you feedback on how you can be better, how you can support them better, how you can do your job better. So it's this kind of Ubuntu thing. I am because you are. You know, we're in this together, this connectedness, this human connectedness thing that I'm passionate about. And I learned this here. And I think Nelson Mandela is the best exponent I can give of someone who was generous-spirited leader, tough, strong, clear thinking, clear on purpose and vision, but generous-spirited in the way he went about it. Think of his 27 years of incarceration. Think of the suffering he experienced as well as his people. And yet he came out after 27 years of that and years before. And what did he want? He wanted a new South Africa, and a vision of reconciliation, and a vision of alignment, and a vision of reconstruction, and a vision of forgiveness, and a vision of all South Africans, whatever their race, background, creed, differences, could be part of this if they were willing to join this journey of uniting together. And he did all the hard wiring and soft wiring I spoke of earlier, sort of hard wiring through things like the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the way he deployed the Constitution, and then the soft wiring and the emblems and the symbols that he used to bring this life, the walking in other shoes, the listening to the people from different dispensations, self-awareness of his own impact on others, generosity of spirit in action. I mean, that's the type of leadership. And it's not an ego leadership. It's a leadership of listening, of connection, of Ubuntu.